Bam! Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a thrill here. 115,300. Is it real? Is this the pump? Let's find out. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on in and see what's happening. I'm still just drunk off gains from AVNT and ASTER. I can't believe what's happened. And actually, I'm still watching AVNT here. Oh my gosh, it got the pump to the upside. I've been watching AVNT. AVNT gets the pump. This thing looks like it's headed all the way. You know, let me talk why I believe AVNT is going to continue to pump. And it's really market cap. Let's talk ASTER. ASTER, 2.6 billion, right? And let's talk about it. The price was, when I found it, like 10 cents and 9 cents. But when we really saw we could get in, 60 cents. I saw it at 79. Let me show you here. I saw it on MEXC. That's a beautiful chart on Cardano, just by the way. About to blast all the way to $2, in my humble opinion. I said it here first. I mean, there's the in, there's the stop loss. Anywhere below the 200 moving average. Anywhere below like 71 cents. Cardano. Where are my Cardanos? Put ADA gang in the chat right now, right? ADA gang, baby. And I know they said that's not the case, but it is what it is. Right, ADA gang, if you're with the Cardano crew over here, let me know. Let me know. So, ASTER, right? I put out ASTER to the trading. I mean, yes, I am tooting my own horn. Yes, I am talking about the trading group. Yes, I am shilling CryptoLifer.com. Yes. Because right here in this flag, well, let's go to the 15-minute. I put the flag out here. Right here for the group. I believe it was there at about, it was either this flag. I'll go find it. Or was this flag? I think it really was this one here. 70 cents, right? And it was gone from there. Just continued to rip to the upside. Like I was amazed. Absolutely amazed. And it looked like it was going to make a bit of a sideways flag too before it pumped to the upside. Anyway, the point of the story is, let's talk market cap, right? I want to make more gains. So we're not going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the future here. So this thing went from, let's just say, the price of 78 cents, 79. This is where I looked, 60, 77 right here, 75. Yeah, this is where I first put it out. And it ripped. And so back here, and then it went all the way up to about $2, right? So here, the market cap was below $1 billion. It was like 600 million right here at this point. You know, a little bit above where we are now on AVNT. So the growth for AVNT is real. And we could see AVNT making a pretty big move here to the upside, right? And remember, we talked about getting into AVNT yesterday before the thing ripped. The thing is gone now. At 257, are you kidding me? AVNT is out of control, absolutely ripping to the upside here. AVNT, baby, doing that damage. And we wanted to see this thing bust to the upside. It was the only thing that worth really, in my humble opinion, trading today that I thought possible. And I made a video about it. I put it out on my channel today, and the video really explains why AVNT is going to rip. I suggest you go find that video and watch it. I cracked the key to AVNT, and I understood what's happening here. I mean, because you have to understand what's going on in the ecosystem. Why is something pumping? And we know here as crypto lifers, because this is all we do. And it's really the use case in the onboarding, right? It has good utility, and you can get in there. I don't even want to blow the secret, so I want you to watch the video, because there's a main reason why this thing is just set to blow. It has something that I haven't seen in any other coin in my life that this has an edge on, and it's almost unfair. It's almost unfair. So I mean, it is unfair when I think about it. But this could, you know, it is a Sunday night. Look for this thing. It could come back right back down here to the 21. Be careful. It's all fun and games until, you know, someone gets liquidated. Hey. So let's break down BTC. Let's talk about the weekly close. But it's just been an amazing... So the point of the story is when I go back to AVNT and I see that it only has a $661 million market cap. I mean, 5 days from now, 20 days from now, this thing could be $2-3 billion, right? I don't see why it can't. So, you know what I mean? ASTER supported by Binance, AVNT supported by Coinbase. The perp DEX meta has started. I mean, and it's true. right? ASTER 2.1, Advantis was 3.6 at the time of writing this, 360 on the million, you know. And TA-wise, Advantis is a key resistance. Looks like it's headed towards $2. And he called that too. Nice, you know. But so the move here is boom. Anyway, and you got to pay attention. And by going live every single day, either by getting live, someone super chatting, either by me doing my research, we see it on token metrics. I was reading the Medium article about how to do the Apex token for ASTER. This is before ASTER even hit the exchanges and blew up, right? And we were talking about what was going to happen. And, you know, because someone had put APX, we were looking at APX token, and they were asking me about it on the live stream. So we dug it up. We started talking about it. Amazing. Advantis, man. And I want to go to Crypto Rank too and just see for a second here what's trending. So top 20 search coins, Linnea. And we have that set up for Linnea. And when Linnea does something crazy, don't be surprised. ASTER is out there. Advantis, of course. They're both going to be out there. So crazy. Maverick Network, right? Maverick. That looks pretty interesting. Very small. Boundless keeps coming up on my radar. ZKC. Somia could be recovering from its final. Mayax finally took the fall, right? Pump.fun has been strong. I stay away from it mostly. Bard, Hyperliquid. They took some liquidity away, really. And Hyperliquid fell a little bit once we had the move. World Liberty Finance continues to gain some steam from that bottom. I'm actually in gains from when I got in now, which is interesting. And Solana even seems like it took a little bit of a hit from like all this kind of perp dex move here. So interesting times. And here you see Advances too there. And, you know, this is just always going to show you what's hot. Hana Network, Pump Fun. A lot of times we find things here before they're hot too. Forte, I would be writing down in Lombard. Bard isn't hot right now. It hasn't been pumping on the charts yet, but I'm watching that thing. That thing could start coming up pretty strong. So anyway, I cross-reference that with my other key searches, other things I'm looking at. I got a bot, and the last time it got in here at about 115,006. And so it's pretty good at finding the bottom or close to it. Like it bought here recently and sold there. It's looking to sell up there in 118 when we get to the top of the range. We'll see what happens. If you ever want to jump on into the bot, I have a link right here to the bot. And it's very simple. I do get a commission if you want to check it out. The MINOTAUR trading bot. There's the link. And it's been doing amazing. So here's the deal. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Look at ASTER fighting to hold 138. And so let's just kind of look at ASTER for a second and say, like, could it actually get a bounce here? Like, I've seen this before, this exact pattern where it leaves the pattern and comes back inside. Doesn't mean it's not going to go sideways down a little bit more, but eventually it does find its way out. The big fib takes it to here. The local fib from this run says it's pretty close to the 786 already, right, for the bounce, which I've seen many times. Once you get cooking. I mean, the way these dexes are moving and the way this is like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing somehow rebounds and comes up again. There would be some great swing trading here, and my system will find some beautiful flags on the 15, the 21 crossing the 200. There'll be some good moves there to be had. So we don't even have to chase the bottom. We could just chase it, but if it does decide to, if not, and it just moves and then it comes up later, either way, I'll be able to trade this puppy and we'll be watching it closely. ASTER, it looks like it may be ready to kind of start to slow down on the dump though. Interesting times ahead for all of us. And there's opportunity if we keep our minds open. There's opportunity. If we just focus on, like, look, I didn't focus on Bitcoin this weekend at all, really. There's no reason to. The money was here. I saw the money flowing in. I said, man, there it is. And I took advantage. If you didn't, it's okay. There's opportunity. Watch how we did it. Observe how we did it. And see how we were able to see a narrative, take advantage of the narrative, and then just trade it as traders. That's the key. Let's go to BTC and see what's happening here for Bitcoin. Because it seems to be struggling. It's not doing too good. And I'm like, nobody cares. Like, we haven't paid attention to you, Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what's happening to BTC. That monthly candle close is hovering on us and coming very, very soon. Yeah, here it comes too in September 21st of 2000, right? I can't believe it. The last day of summer. And, you know, fall begins, autumn begins. Northeast starts to get that coolness, you know. Here, the ocean just perfect temperature for swimming, in my humble opinion. The ocean is just, I went to the beach on Saturday, and it was dreamlike. The water, the air, the water was crystal clear, the ocean, the way the wind hits your body and the sun, it was just absolutely beautiful. You know, may God bless Florida and the beautiful beaches of Siesta Key, man. Unbelievable. So, Bitcoin on the monthly looks absolutely beautiful. It could get all the way up here to about 186,000, maybe even a blow off top to further. And we're looking for this parabolic move here for lay Bitcoin, right? Just to absolutely explode to the upside. And, you know, that's kind of what we're looking for. Boom. And we're all waiting. And the rally would end somewhere in May, right? And that would be the end of this insanity. And we would start coming back down. And again, at that point, you'd be looking for the 786, which would be 54,000, right? And everyone would tell us that, you know, it's over again, right? And then another rally. That's why when everyone says like $1 million by, unless this rally does something crazy, which could happen, and then we, you know, but still, like, say we do something insane and we go to 300, say we go to 400K, let's just say. So we draw it out. Let's just say we do something absurd and we somehow make enough base to really start to move to 400,000. I just want to like fancy this for a split second and then we'll get back to reality. But, and we took a fib here. That still tells you you're likely to come back down to 176K. You see? Then another breakout huge, right? I just, you know, and then maybe a huge move up somewhere here. And another rally. What, 2032 would be the next halving, right? And then you have your bear market again. Every time coming back down somewhere, right? And then you're back to 400 grand. I just want to see people say $1 billion by 2030, right? And so, like, and the greatest moves ever, like, as far as I'm concerned, technical analysis wise, like, and just constant uptrends, I still don't see $1 million till like 2034. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make, you know what I mean? Unless, you know, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does it like this. And it could do it by 2030. But if it does it by 2030, it's going to have to be insane. And how does it have its big pullbacks? You know, I'm just trying to show it with actual realistic pullbacks. Anyway, that's, you know, as we can speculate all we want there, right? But it gives us at least a frame of reference when you hear people say like $1 million by this time. And you, okay, well, realistically, but maybe it's going to do something unrealistic that we've never thought about or seen. I mean, that's possible. I'm open-minded, but I can't. So we go from there, right? There's no guarantees. Anyway, fun to speculate. A little bit of bearish div here on the monthly too. And again, for me, important that this candle closes above resistance. Otherwise, that is monthly resistance, and you can't get back above it. And that's going to be at about 115,800 too. So you got monthly resistance. This candle's got to close above that. And we were about to close the biggest candle in history on the monthly. And we still got about, you know, we got about 9 days. There is only 30 days in September, as I checked the other day. The 2-week chart looking okay, but some wickage here. And, you know, I don't want to see that close tweezer top. And we got 7 days. So halfway through a 2-week chart, that's already not looking too amazing. The weekly just did its thing. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. And the weekly candle close. So let's take a look here at the weekly candle close and see what's happening. Bitcoin opened at $115,268.01. The high was $117,900. The low was $114,384, and the candle closed at $115,232.29. It was down $35 on the week. So in the entire week, it went up, it went down, but from the beginning of the week to the close, it went down $35. Can you believe that? From the beginning of the week to the close of the week, Bitcoin went down $35. I find that absolutely insane. An asset this big, that it could only go down that much, an asset that big. I almost don't believe it. But it's true. $35. So here's the deal. I'm not a fan of this. This doesn't look amazing. That's a double top, is it not? That's a double top on the weekly. You gotta, that didn't pan out good for us. That didn't pan out too good for us. We got a dump after that, and it took 3 weeks. We got a dump after that. It took 3 nasty weeks. Are 2 or 3 nasty weeks coming our way? Are we going to reverse this and start to kind of get our move here for a higher high and take out these lows? We are on a trajectory for a beautiful green candle. Things are going our way. And we had Fed hike. Everyone thought it was going to be awesome. I told everyone, be careful. Is there a black swan headed our way? Could Bitcoin be foreshadowing a black swan? A shoulder, a head, a nasty right shoulder. 2-3 weeks from now, we get bad news. Things don't go our way into January of 26, and we get a a lot of weirdness going on. Is Charlie's, the passing, the assassination of Charlie, is that having an effect on the market? So in some way, shape, or form, because people don't trust the government or what's happening. Is it creating fear in the markets? I think behind the scenes, it could be in some way. Division between country, bickering, rumors, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Again, am I wrong to speculate on that? I am a guy who's been in the markets a long time. I've seen many things affect the markets. And God bless his family today, and God bless the beautiful big funeral there. Just want to say, a moment of silence too, for a moment, if I may, if I don't offend anybody. A family lost their father, and regardless of how anyone feels, a family lost their father, and may God bless the children there. I'm just a human being, man. I don't celebrate the death of anybody, right? So God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. So watching this, I'm not a fan of how this weekly candle closed, and this could definitely dump us down somewhere to $95,000 if we don't play ball. And so far, this is signaling to us that our next candle is going to be a red candle. It's saying, hey, you're having a red candle now on the weekly. Sorry, not sorry, but expect a red week. So I'm expecting it to be a red week. If it's not, I'll be pleasantly surprised, right? All this talk about the rate cut was supposed to ease the pain of any thought of a dump. We were supposed to be perfect. Instead, these 2 DEXs come out, pump on the weekend. Bitcoin stutter steps, and Ethereum and Sol take a side step as well. And it looks like we spiked with price action last week with that pump up to about 118,000, high 117,000s, which we sold the top of congratulations. Lifers, we did very good. And now what? I haven't been in a Bitcoin trade. I've been trading these other little altcoins that have been doing damage, right? Wow, I think went all the way up to 275. Unbelievable. Insanity, right? Insanity. 275 over here. This thing is pumping over here, Shammy. What a move, huh? For AVNT. Little AVNT over here. Anyway, so I like this and I love what I'm seeing. Making sense, right? It's making sense. So anyway, because it's a utility with the DEX, right? And it very well may just continue. People might just continue to buy up this previous resistance as support here and get that move to the upside. So yeah, I was about to. I have an order and I can't see it. It's not showing me the order, and I'm like, hey, where's the order? And it's like, hey, ain't no order, and I'm like, wait, because I have a limit order in there, of course. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to wait. Sorry about that. Everything makes sense now over here. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so like there's really for me nothing else to pay attention to at the present moment. Let's get back into BTC. So the weekly. All right, that could be the right shoulder, and I've been talking about it for days and days. I've been talking about it since we got here that it could make a right shoulder, right? And then we kind of had that, and so I wouldn't want that. It would be absolutely whack and horrible. Wouldn't make any sense to me, but it could happen, and we could see Bitcoin somewhere back down here to 97,000. Could that have been a top? I mean, it's very high on the monthly and the weekly. That's exactly how a top would look like. The 21 would be this far away. You would have been gapped away for a long time. You've been pumping since 2022. So soon it will be it'll be 3 years. Bitcoin's been pumping for 3 years. Insanity, right? Look, I mean, it started pumping right here in December of January of 23, you could say, fine. So when we wrap around, fine. You could say 23, 24, in the year of 25. When we wrap around to January of 2026, it'll be 3 years that Bitcoin's been basically in an uptrend for 3 years straight. Before Bitcoin went into the uptrend, Bitcoin's, I mean, I guess you could say it started here in 20 and it ended there in 2021, but that wasn't 3 years, So Bitcoin's never been on an uptrend like this ever in the history of Bitcoin. Is the cycle broken? Maybe it is. Maybe we just start these like pullbacks and like it comes back down and then we pump. Like it just kind of starts acting like the NASDAQ that had so much money thrown at it in the last 20 years that we just continue to pump. This would make sense to me. That's a hypothesis that I'm willing to bite on here. And we have to start kind of expanding our minds and using TA and also hypothesizing of, because something different's going on for sure. So Bitcoin's struggling. Let's break it down. Looks like it's going to lose 115,000. We're getting a nasty short here to the downside. So the way this candle closed in the weekly, you definitely, if this candle's going to be green, we need a dump right now. Think about it. If this pumped right now, it'd be no wick. And you need a wick, right? All the green candles I've ever seen in my life, they come down first, right? They come down first. They come down, they come down, they come down. So let's see if we can get some little dump here that can be recovered. So you want the first dump right now. This is perfect. You want to see if people start biting. Let's take a look. Let's start zooming in. 5-day chart closes tomorrow night, and that's going to be bearish engulfing with a tweezer top. And look, shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder vibes. Not a great look. I'm not excited to look at that. The 3-day chart, it just closed tonight with the weekly bearish, a tweezer top. Look, shoulder head. That almost tells me that the right shoulder is being made on the 3-day chart. And so I see dumpage here for Bitcoin now, back to 110 at least. I mean, this is unless they can reverse this quickly. And we're going to show you why on the daily. So can the daily save us is the question. I don't know. See how the 21's curving on the 3-day chart too? Not my favorite sign. Last time the 21 curve, look, we got some dumpage. I never even saw it this way. Look at this too. I mean, shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder there could dump us. It's, it's everywhere. I mean, back to the 21-day moving average on the 3-day chart. It seems like these areas, 90, 95 calling, could be possibly, and I don't want to be freaking people out. I just, I don't see anybody saying this stuff. Everybody is just like, we're going up only. It's up only. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Even if I'm freaking you out. And tonight you wake up and say, man, Sam was going so bearish last night. And I can get bearish sometimes, I know. But wouldn't you rather me put you on awares? And that's the point. I just need you to see what's happening so you don't just go, okay, I'm just going to walk blindly right into this. There's no way I can lose here, and not look at all the possible opportunities and options, because I want you to see it for what it is. Advantis still looks absolutely amazing. If anything could save us tonight, it's Advantis, right? I have a bag of Advantis, so I am shilling my own bag. I will tell you, I have Advantis. That thing looks beautiful. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's go further down to the daily time frame. I mean, the daily is starting to make a right shoulder. Am I wrong here? It's just like, man. It was supposed to play ball and start making a beautiful flag. We did say, hey, there's a chance the daily comes to the downside, but man, that's just nasty, right? And it's almost shoulder, head, right shoulder that, I mean, the daily made a lower high. Like it was, and we really needed this trend to continue. We lost that low there too. And so now you're looking for a bounce desperately on the daily right here where these two candles came and resisted right there. And that bounce, I mean, you need a bounce. You lose 114, you're dropping quickly to 113 and then right back down to 107 possibly. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Bookmap says we're going up to 116.5, not to be stressed. There's so much liquidity up there, they're going to get us. They're just creating some bit of a short squeeze here. Not to worry. Everything's going to be fine, Sam. Deep breath, Sam. Deep breaths. Deep breath, Sam. Everything. Give the guy a paper bag. Let him breathe into a paper bag. So here's the deal. Can we get the bounce, though, on the daily? The daily still looks, stochastics got high with bearish div. Right there, they told you, look, my indicator is so sweet. Bearish divergence on the stochastics, and that was a wrap. So money flowing out of Bitcoin into Advantis. Binance selling Bitcoin, buying Advantis. No, but so this thing looks interesting, right? We need a bounce there. You lose this level, you're dropping again, and then I'd look for that right shoulder, and I'd look for this bigger move. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, you see? And I'd start looking for 105,000, 107K. So, dang, man, we were so close to breaking the all-time high and coming for it. And again, we have a low, we have a higher low. As long as the daily could put in a higher low, I'm okay too. Let's look at, I don't want to get. So here's the deal. Where do we want to look for a long here in the set? Well, we want to pull a fib from this wick right here to this wick. Okay. And we want to look for a bounce 0.5 or at the 0.618 right here, this golden pocket at 113K. And you want to kind of see what coincides with support or resistance right here. Looks like a great area. About 112.5. So either we bounce here tonight off the 21-day moving average on that daily time frame. See the 21 there? Ever so slightly. We lose the 21, we're in trouble. We're going lower down to the 786, down to these key levels. We just, 113, 112.5. So it's not all bad. See if we can get the bounce here. This would be a beautiful consolidation. And this is what I was looking for anyway. This would just definitely lengthen it. Right? Before I wanted to bounce and we were supposed to be off to the races in 6-7 days. This now would tell us it's going to take, till the 4th of October and it's not going to be so easy, right? So that's something that I'm looking at, so that's, bang. And there we would go back to the all-time high, but not until somewhere in the beginning of October. So we kind of need a bounce today. This tells us if in the next 2 days we start down, we probably spend our weeks going through here. But if in the next 2 days we bounce, we spend our weeks doing this. So like in the next 2 days, It's going to tell us what the next 2 months are going to do. Isn't that crazy? And so the next 2 days are huge for Bitcoin. It's just how the cookie crumbles right now at the present moment in time. You know, sometimes have a huge effect on time and space from where they're set up on the chart, right? So we need this bounce here for BTC. Would I long it? Let's take a look at the smaller time frames and start kind of zooming in. Let's look at what's bullish. I mean, the 50 could come back above the 200. These are all getting tight. This is oversold. Like, you know, the 12 hour isn't so bad. The 22 isn't too bad either, but shoulder, head, right shoulder there. Definitely made a head and shoulder pattern. You can see it. And that has a measured move, usually down to that 200 moving average and the length of the head to the shoulder, right? Like that. That's 113.5, 114. 8 hour time frame lost the 200 moving average. Supposed to be able to put this here and put a stop and ride this puppy to Valhalla. We had problems here, bearish divvy, right? You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. I keep putting the stop loss and taking profits. Now, I remember I was like, oh man, those are going to be big ones. I sold all my trades, and now I'm so happy that I just keep selling, because we can always keep trading. But if we always go for the big one and it doesn't work, then we might get liquidated. But if we just keep taking profits and we take smaller losses and learn to fight another day, we're going to be all right. So look, we talked about this today, right? We said this looks like it could be making a right shoulder. And I even drew this as a descending triangle, remember? And I said, this doesn't look amazing. Oh, I did say a green box, that we would bounce, right? And we would be in the green box. No, it doesn't. Bitcoin just doesn't have the oomph. So that's a descending triangle, right? It looks like we're going to dump. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. We needed to break out of here today. Remember that kind of cup and handle on the 1 hour time frame? So the 1 hour, we were looking at like a flag or something, right? Or we were looking at the 15, and I said, yeah, we'll get into that. So look, I mean, that just looks bearish to me. That's it, shoulder, head, right shoulder. And I gotta be honest, that's a deep measured move, right? Yeah, that takes you back to 112.5. Still really not on the map for Bookmap for whatever reason. But there is liquidity down there, enough to, have it happen. Right now, though, it's still really farther above us at about $117,000 BTC, right? So I mean, you can see there's the most liquidity is 116.5. But we do got globs all the way down to $100,000. I mean, so any bullishness, I mean, possible double bottom off 114. A little bit of a bounce here too as well. I don't know, not amazing. I'm not like, so excited about what I'm seeing here for price action, right? Struggling a bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Bitcoin looks like it's kind of taking the whole market down a little bit and might continue to do so. 1 hour. And so, look, we left you this morning with, I said, hey, we got to get back above. I said, we have this cup and handle. I said, the 50-minute has to get back above. I said, in the next hour to 2 hours, you have to get back above this yellow line. I said, and then the 21 will come, and then we could trade that possible. I said, if you don't get above this yellow line, expect this to take, to go further down. And that's exactly what happened. We got rejected by the 200 moving average and the point of control on the POC. And lo and behold, we got to move further to the downside here. And that's just kind of what happens, right? Pretty crazy. Whoa. So, yeah, I mean, that's bearish. And look at Bitcoin taking the market down, down, down as we speak. Sunday night volatility is always tough. And look at the 7-minute. I'm going to show you the 7-minute. And I'm going to teach you how, if you just trade patterns, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. and you will see it. Look at this. I mean, I could have shorted this with you, but but shoulder, head, right shoulder, and there you have a head and shoulder pattern right there that says it's going to break down the length of the head to the neckline and some. I mean, that thing is gone. Dump city, right? And there they go, dumping the price to the downside. Wow. So anyway, what a day to be alive. And then the 5-day, the 1 minute, man, the 1 minute dumping on us too. You're looking for the reversal as usual. You're looking for some type of inverted head and shoulder on the 1 minute time frame. And then this is like, back to like all coins are about to be the, it's just so sad for the alts every time they get that move. The uneasiness for Bitcoin sets in again, and we're not sure. It's in some type of pattern that needs to revisit or bounce. Yeah, so right now, Bitcoin looks like it could, one of two things. You could put it in here. We're looking for some type of reversal pattern, or it's just in a flag. But, shoulder, head, right shoulder. But I see just, bearishness too. Again, lost the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. That's bearish. We don't trade that. We trade the move above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. If you see that, that's, you should not be in it. My system tells you it's time to bail and bail fast, right? So right now, you're looking for some type of bounce here for Bitcoin off of some small bullish divvy. Stop the bleeding for a second here and find some end to the pain here at 114,005. Wow. So they really flushed it, and that's going to flush everything. Looks like Advantis is moving down. All coins are moving down. It's a night where I would literally put my capital to the side, watch what's happening, maybe look for some dippage, but just keep myself on the low. Look at that. I mean, you don't chase. People that chase at ASTER here at the top, they're down. This liquidated a lot of people who couldn't handle their emotions. People that were up big and just kept putting up more. People were up here, sold, and just felt like they had to get back in because they were too greedy. I traded it very well. I felt like I could have made more, but at the end of the day, I'm super grateful that I made them. I have to tell myself I probably made more than 90% of people off this stuff. And there's probably a bunch of people that made way more than me. So be it. It is what it is, right? Is it a race? Am I comparing my life to them? How much I made off ASTER for the rest of my life? Well, no. So it's okay, I talked about all weekend. I'm not going to talk about it again, how much I made, but my trading group knows, you guys know, people that were watching me, and it was an amazing week. God bless the week, or the weekend, and who knew? The week was amazing. Who knew we were going to make gains trading this weekend the way we did? I didn't, but it all happened absolutely beautiful. So, God bless everybody that's kicking it with me, and thank you so much for being lifers. We love you and we appreciate you. Yeah, so everything's kind of taking a look at even Advantis starting to kind of, it's got a little bearish divvy now. As you got a beautiful swing up on the 15, but a swing down, right? So that kind of has to come back a little bit. So let's take a look. And taking profits there was smart. It looked like it was going to just continue to rip, to be honest, the way the market was setting up. Look at the 4-hour time frame. I mean, the 4 hour, you really don't even have that much information. You kind of have to use the 1 hour. And so you got this, you do got this. It's interesting. It may very well continue. It may very well just kind of find its way in here. Just a fake out breakout before it eventually does something even more. It just, fine. People took some profits. They got scared when the market got weird, but that doesn't stop the utility. It doesn't stop what's happening. It doesn't stop the reason why this was pumping in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like market moves that where people take profits doesn't affect the overall reason why this thing was moving. I don't know. To me, it says it could maybe go sideways for a couple more hours, but there's a chance this thing does continue to 393. You know, and I could be wrong. I personally don't have any more. I sold my stake right now just to cover. I was scalping 10 racks and I sold it just to cover. I didn't make it, you know, basically a little bit break even, so I'm fine. But the idea was this. You know, why not make another $7,000 off of 10,000 if it was going to make its move? So I'll be watching this. It may not be over. If it loses this trend line, starts to fall down, then we know, leave it alone, look for the fib. But if it starts to bounce and it stays in here, if Bitcoin can bounce and the market can kind of settle off, there's a chance this thing is going to start to rip again. And it could be the last, you know, that dip buy could be an amazing opportunity. So I'm open-minded here, and I got advances on the radar. I wouldn't give up on it just yet. For me, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor, but even with that wick and that crazy move to the upside, I've seen them do that. I've seen that happen, and a coin still pump an hour or two later. They just kind of got it ready, saw what they could do, and then eventually kind of, you know, recaptured its momentum. So we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let me jump on into the chat. May God bless everybody here on the chat. Shout out to the 1,230 beautiful souls here that come in on a live stream on a Sunday night. Okay, battling football, all the awesome stuff that's happening tonight that people want to watch. All right. Relax, everyone. Just a little correction for the new moon phase. Bitcoin and big alt rotation, November to December. It's going to be degen alt season. It does this every bull run. Some altcoin into next year, and then boom, the bear is back. Sir, what are your expectations for the upcoming PCE report due this Friday? You know, I don't have huge expectations, but we'll talk about it. We'll go over it for sure. Honestly, over this market, man, for real, gonna get out this market as soon as I can with it. Hey, God bless you, bro. That's what they want you to say. Relax, you know that, yeah. And one thing, you know, I just wanted to talk about my buddy. I got this awesome Bitcoin watch. It has Bitcoin on it. It's super sick. It's red. I have the one right in the middle there. Coin Vigilante makes them. And they're awesome. They're like $1,000. It's 600, 800 to 1,000, depending on which one you get. And they're awesome. You'll really like them. They represent Bitcoin. They're one of a kind. They feel great on the wrist. They're fancy to wear. They look good. Like I have it with my suit, this black one, and it looks fresh, you know. Anyway, I like them. I'm just going to pop a link here. I believe you'll get like a slight discount with my link. So check it out. Check it out. And I'm just doing this just because I think the watch is cool. You know, it's not even, you know, for what I do for a living, it's not a big deal. So just check it out. Okay. And sponsor Kinesis. Thank you for the sponsorship from Kinesis. Why do I like Kinesis? Well, it's the only place you could take your gold and actually make it work. You know what I mean? Like right now, my gold would be stuck in a vault doing nothing. But with Kinesis.money, I can actually move the stuff around. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you can get it moving. So once I heard that Kinesis, sorry, and I closed the screen because I wanted to show you. But once I heard that Kinesis.money was the place to be with gold, because like let me just show you. I'll show you right now. Just 1 second, and then I have something huge I got to teach you. Then I want to look at the chat. We got a lot to do. So Kinesis.money, it's just the only place where you can actually do, you know, actually turn gold into a product you can use. That's just the whole thing about it, right? You can buy and sell gold and silver there. It's absolutely amazing. I was just there. I guess now I got to log back in. Anyway, I'll log back in and I'll show it to you later, but they sponsor the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and it's awesome. Wow, look, the NASDAQ took a dump, and I had a trade going that was up. And so the NASDAQ also follows suit. So everything takes a dump tonight. You know, a volatile day. All right, so we signed back in. This is great. So you can see, you know, I can see I have my balance here. But so you could ship gold. They'll give you this KAU token, and then you can use this for yield, right? You can even have a metal back card where you get 10% back. You can actually sell the gold for Bitcoin if you wanted to get into Bitcoin. Say you had extra gold lying around, you were done holding it, or you wanted to take half your gold, put it into BTC. You could do it easily here at Kinesis. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not a financial advisor. Figure all this stuff for yourself, but it's a really good way to move gold and silver around in the digital world. And, you know, there may be some other competitors, but right now, this is like the best way to get your gold and silver to a place where you can start buying in, you know, digital currency too as well. and get it moving, right? Crypto. So pretty cool. ASTER seems like it's attempting a bounce here on the low. People are like, you know what? I'll buy 134. If anything's going to bounce quicker, it's going to be AVNT and ASTER, right? They're going to use these moves. They're going to use these dips. They're going to use these dips for binds. For the binds over here's now going. I see myself some more of them coins now. So, yeah. Again, fear. Fake emotions acting real. People use the fear against you. Stack, 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 stack. Stack. You know what I mean? Just keep stacking what I'm convinced in. That's what I do. Shout out to Weeks. If we get the bounce above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, you know I'm back at it. And we'll be trading it all week long. Let's take a look at what's happening for the week ahead. Okay. Monday, September 22nd. All right. We don't have anything coming our way. We have a clean Monday for once. So just a false move Monday to look forward to. That's about it, right? FOM members speaking, but usually it's not too big of a deal. But you never know these days. 3 of them do speak. But it's not Jerome, so it's like whatevs, right? Now we flip to Tuesday. Tuesday, we have Fed Chair Powell. He does, wow, Fed Chair Powell speaks on Tuesday. That's all we need, so be careful. The market could be moving heavily, and that's at 12:30, right when the stream ends. So we might even do a double stream there and cover his talk. So Fed Chair Powell speaks on Tuesday, which is kind of creepy, all right? It's like we already hear, oh my gosh, right? Wednesday, more FOM members speak, right? As you can see, which is kind of crazy. So it's like, you know, but nothing in crude oil inventories, which does, you know, I'd like to see that if you're trading crude oil. And then Thursday, we have unemployment claims at 8:30. And then Friday, we have core PCE index month over month and personal income and personal spending. So Thursday and Friday, we'll get those awesome volatile moves around 8:30 in the morning. That definitely could pay or liquidate the trader depending on how you're set up. I have pants on. Yeah, nice cocky pants. Yeah, I got nice cocky pants on. I look like a good Amish boy. Yeah. So we got unemployment claims. We've got core PCE. We've got a lot coming our way. All right. So just get ready. And we got Jerome Powell on Tuesday. All right. Jerome Powell speaks Tuesday at 12:35. Oh my gosh. That's insanity. All right. So wow, what we learned today is it doesn't look amazing. They actually pummeled Bitcoin to the ground in front of us right now on the live stream. It got absolutely kicked to the curb. And I told you it didn't look good. I told you Bitcoin was in a bearish state and then it wasn't amazing. And I said all day that if we didn't get back above that 15-minute in the next 2-3 hours, that we were likely going to get a pretty nasty dump out of this descending triangle, right? And I even showed you that we could go to 112.5. And it looks like we're testing 114,000. And it could get uglier here tonight for Bitcoin. I would watch your 5-minute time frame in the 21-day moving average. Looks like it'll just make a bear flag and then continue further to the downside. Looks like you could probably scalp the 5-minute for a bit of a dump here. It's crazy. So 2 dexes pump all weekend. Bitcoin goes sideways, and then they dump Bitcoin Sunday night. What an interesting time to be alive. How does everybody feel in here in the chat? Let me know. I want to read the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Opportunity. Are you bummed? Are you sad? Are you scared? Are you worried? Did you make gains? Did you miss ASTER and AVNT? Are you pissed that I made gains off it? Are you like, Dan, Sam, how do you always make money off these things? Do you think I'm lucky? Do you think it's just because I'm a YouTuber? Do you think it's because I stayed up all night long on Saturday night till 3 in the morning? You know, did you make more than me? Probably. Did you make less than me? Did you make any? Are you upset? Are you happy? I just want to know out there. Are you celebrating your gains and you don't care? What's going on to the lifers? Let me know. Tell me your story. Let me read here in the chat. Someone says, gonna pump soon. Said, I have to hate to see Bitcoin bump. Someone says, fantastic, speculating huge. He said, feeling well, man. How you feeling? I'm feeling great, brother. Amish boy, somebody says, love it when Sam feels. Feed to the girl. You guys are funny, man. ASTER shorts printed today. Missed the pump side, though. God bless you, man. They just quad rotation, super signal in the 1 hour. Almost complete. Completing the reset the 1 hour. I bet your robot is buying the dip. Thank you. I was shorts in 3 days since your stream. I just have my position for a sweet 110 profit. Alhamdulillah. God bless you, man. Definitely concerned. Happy for my people catching gains, though. I believe this will be a slingshot in the very near future. Patience. I was shorts in 3 days ago. Yep, you said it already. We read it. Morning buy opportunities. Income doesn't far exceed personal development unless you grow out where it is. It's most likely to come back to where you are. Jim Rohn, 100%. I was shorts in 3 days since your stream. All right, now you're done. Yeah, now you're going to be on timeout for 24 hours. I'm not going to read that 3 times in a row. Just keeping it on the 1,000, missing my ex, Advantus, and Bake. Just waiting for Lifer to give up a membership. I gave up the Lifer a new before 700X fall before. God bless you, man. Shout out to Music Miracles. We love you. Powerful working and paying attention to the money. Yeah. Once I sell the alts, I'm never looking back at crypto again. Too stressful. Been in for 3 years. It's been crazy. Yeah, so this could be the bounce here for Bitcoin. Right here. Nice little bullish divvy here holding us down. That's a beautiful bullish divergence there on the 1 minute. Possible inverted head and shoulder to get the bounce. Sunday night is volatile. I wouldn't be surprised if we did bounce. Sam, you're a crypto G. God bless you. You're a crypto G for being here with me. Someone says Advantus is just going to keep going. It's likely. I don't see why I couldn't. I don't see why it shan't. Just continue to pump to the upside. Up 300% this month. The chart. I'm riding the wave, staying cool and calm. Shout out to Dustin Calva. Shout out to Master Friend. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. We love you. What's your thoughts on what Putin said about us dropping dead in the stable coins? I mean, it makes sense. I had felt great by miss a few pumps, you know. But happy for your hard work. God bless you. Thank you. Celebrating my B-Day here with the Lifer. God bless Underground Crypto. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. What a great day. September 21st. What a day to be born, man. And, you know, our summer begins now. Like, our real summer begins. Like, now it's like the perfect time to go to the beach. Like, it's not too hot. It's not too cold. Our next month or two are going to be absolutely beautiful. Then it gets a little cool, December, right? But, man, the next month, like this weekend, for me personally, the humidity is just a lot lighter than it used to be, which to me, it was so heavy that even just a little lightness is actually a lot lighter. Because humidity is like exponential. So you drop humidity by like a couple percentage and it feels like we're getting like, you know, treated like royalty as far as I'm concerned out here. This flag could still break down. It's not all love, but pay attention. This could be the bounce of bounces for everything right now. You always got to be careful. The fear and greed index for crypto should be, I know, right? And it's sitting at 49. Let's take a look. 45, it just got a flip there. 45, I mean, I like buying down here, and anything past this line and down is really where I like to buy the more of. So this is good. We're back to where we can buy BTC. Up here, you can't buy Bitcoin. So for me personally, you do what makes you happy, but I can't be chasing it at the high highs. I could dabble and take a little bit, but I can't be buying substantial amounts at the highs. You know, be careful. If anything, it does look like we're going lower. But I would love a right shoulder and a break back to the upside. I'm going to go to sleep, close my eyes, and see where we land. And just wake up tomorrow like, please don't be down, Bitcoin. Please don't be dumping, you know. So I'd keep my capital on the sidelines, wait for more opportunity, and be careful. I'm watching this flag here. I wouldn't long unless we got back above this level. You're looking for shoulder. Head right shoulder for Bitcoin to get back in. Or if it keeps going, that's going to be a bear flag that sends you back down to 113,450, right? I truly do appreciate you and Master Fred for completing my training. You've never completed your training, man. If you think you've completed it, you're about to get liquidated. Stay with us for a long time. God bless you. Gains ever since I joined the 99, both in and the brains. God bless everyone in the 99. Mr. J, we love you. We appreciate you for saying that. You didn't have to say something like that and give a super chat, but you did. That'll come back to you tenfold. So we have Woozy. He says 99% PNL on advances. Join the 99 and get them good calls out. Call outs. Bless you. Thank you so much, man. I'm happy you made them gains. Monster move on me. Magic Eden. Let's take a look at Magic. Me, baby, me. Ooh, it did get a nice little, wow. Whoa. 72 cents all the way up to 90. It looks like it's still kind of doing some damage there, but now it's kind of, I would do this and see if it can, if it hits the flag, then yeah. All right, so you're looking for it to end up somewhere right about there for the gains. Me, baby, Magic Eden. That's the very most rustic super chat. Did you find yourself feeling panicky with this pullback and you came to the stream tonight for an expert to talk you off a ledge? Want Sam, master friend of the Lifer community, with you 24/7? Join the 99, folks. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. Thank you for the $10, man. And gains ever since I joined the 99, both in money and in the brains. God bless everyone in the 99, Mr. J. And thank you so much for the super chats. $26 in chat revenue. People are absolutely beautiful. 1,200 beautiful souls in the live. One of the biggest live streams on a Sunday night you can catch out here. And it does look like Bitcoin may be going lower tonight. It does look like we're going lower. So just be careful here for Bitcoin. Right now, the bulls have to show us something. The bears are in control. So the bulls have to get us back above the 1 minute 200. The bulls have to show us some signs of life. The bulls have to bounce this shoulder, head, and shoulder. The bulls have to stop the pain with some bullish divvies. Something has to give here. If anything, right now, the bulls have to get back above this. Remember, we always talk about there's an elbow, a dip. That's the first level. You have to get back above 114,800, or just this whole story is completely bearish, right? And if I had to tell you what's going to happen, I would tell you we were likely going further down to 113,005 throughout the night, right? So I'm definitely more bearish than bullish here. Smash that like button if you're a proud lifer. Shout out to Underground Crypto. So it's bittersweet, right? We celebrate the dump here for Bitcoin because, no, we don't celebrate it, but, we can see the charts were telling us what was going to happen today. Anyway, but we celebrate the pumps for Advantis and ASTER. We made our gains, but we still watched, Bitcoin struggle. So it's a bittersweet night. I'm keeping my capital to the sidelines, even though things look somewhat fun. I'm staying away. I bought enough dips. And so I'm telling you right now, I'm not putting anything out there. I'm not going to put out a lever trade. I'm just sitting tight, and I'll be back tomorrow to break it down. I would love to see this make a right shoulder. I say this, but fine. If later tonight somehow we get above the 200 and the 21 catches and I see a flag, fine. I'll call the bottom then. And I'll make a long and be like, I called it. I did it. It was me. I called the bottom. But until then, I ain't going to trade it. All right. All right, so that's just how it is. From that, I would keep yourself situated, stay tight, and be careful out there. God bless everyone on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I'm going to kick it out of here, undo my tie, and take a breather. May God bless every single one of you. May I thank you, each and every one of you, for your time that you dedicate to the stream. I couldn't do it without each and every one of you. I thank you so much. And may we continue to push forward. Not every day is amazing, but some days we learn something. Today's awesome. It was a blessing. May God bless us. I was able to take some trades that were amazing, so I woke up today feeling awesome. The weekend went way better than I would think. Let's get through this Bitcoin dip. We'll find out where we land, one day at a time, one candle at a time, not get too overly bearish, not get too overly bullish, and just take each day as a blessing no matter what the market gives us. And remember, you are the opportunity. If you believe you're the opportunity, then you are. If you believe you're not the opportunity, then you aren't. Nothing will come your way. So believe you're the opportunity, create opportunity for yourself, and it will come your way, somehow. It just will. I can't explain how this universe works, but you will bend time and space to your desires. And what you believe to be true will be true, as long as you put in every thought you have into that thought and make it real. Before you go to bed at night, right when you're about to sleep, when you go from being awake to asleep, there's a perfect moment in time between your conscious and subconscious where you can implement these thoughts and begin to change the way you feel about yourself, space and time, collapse space and time into yourself, and live a life you've never thought possible. You can do this. I can teach you how to rework your brain through neuroplasticity and control the way you think so you can live a life of your dreams. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. So the people that stayed, you get a little lifer story, all right? You get a little gem for hanging out late. So this time, right, my dad, about a couple months before my dad died, I was visiting him, and he was like, here, come here. You've been wearing ties. You look good. I like it. Here's some ties, you know. And I knew, like, once your dad realizes he's not going to wear all these ties he's collected throughout his life. You know, he's a man. He might go here. He might go there. But he had moved to a very small island with my mom. He went out once a week to a bar. You know, there wasn't much. He read a book, and he took a phone call here and there, and he looked out into the woods, and he liked to play with his iPad all night, literally until like 1 a.m. every night. And he fell asleep on the couch. But, yeah. You see, he had partied his whole life. By the time he was 70, 75, I think his back hurt him so much, he kind of was done. You know, it's weird. Some people at 75 are still going, right? They're at the bar, they're out there. They're whatever they're doing, you know what I mean? But whatever they're doing, they're still out there. But anyway, my dad gave me this tie. He gave me a bunch of ties, and this is one of them. And this tie means so much to me. It's like, you know, I used to sail the Charles River, and my dad would be there waiting for me. It's a polo tie, too. And back in the day, these were really nice, you know what I mean? Like, polo was even like, and I don't know, my dad dressed nice. And actually, I saw a picture I was going through one day, and my dad had the tie on. It was when I believe I was going to my prom, or maybe my older sister was graduating, and we were all dressed up together. And there I saw my dad with the tie on, you know, and I was like, there it is, you know. And so tonight, as I saw it, I thought of my dad, and I put it on. Thank you so much. God bless you. And may long live my dad, Jimmy Price. I love you, Dad. One love, my brother. Sorry for the watches. Use the link. I just put a link right there. I just put a link right here, brother. Hit this link right here. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, you know. I like the story. I just wanted to help him too. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much.